Hey guys, Amanda here. Okay, so I am doing a book review. Finally, I'm doing a book review on the book that I started reading several years ago. And it is Codependent No More: How to Stop Controlling Others and Start Caring for Yourself by Beattie. And I think it's a really great book. I think it's very helpful. I wrote down some notes so I wouldn't forget what I wanted to say. So first off, I love how Beattie, first of all, she has a background of codependent, her background of growing up and all that stuff. Codependent tendencies and behaviors are something that she knows all too well about. She lived it, she experienced it. So it's really great that she's able to bring forth from her own personal experience about that, and also being able to be a therapist and help other people and bring their stories to the book as well, so you can see it from many different points of view and just different ways that it can manifest, and how relationship dynamics can work in a situation like that. So that's one thing I really do like about the book. Okay, so people who are codependent, she talks about how they're always ready and willing to please and solve other people's problems, but simultaneously these people are ignoring their own problems and anything to do with themselves. It's always about the other person. So your personal needs, your wants, your desires, all that stuff is like almost non-existent. Sometimes it is non-existent in cases, but there's no self-care, there's no nurturing to the self. It's always the other people or person. So I like how she talks about that and just really says, she just really gets into it, and that's what I really like. It's not, she doesn't sugarcoat it, she doesn't beat around the bush. She just talks about what it is, and that is important, I think, because you really got to hear this stuff when you're in that situation. I like how she talks about how people who are codependent want to control their environment. Like, they've learned over time that controlling their environment, controlling the people around them, might make them feel like they have stability, like they're grounded in their life, like everything is the way they want it to be. But what she brings to light is that the need to control is controlling the person who is codependent. And to me, that is just so enlightening. You don't even realize sometimes that what you think, when you think you're in control of something, you don't realize that I guess you could say, like, for me, it can be considered like a drug in a sense, because you need to do this, and if you don't do this, then you have a sense of everything's going to fall apart and everything's just going to, blow up in your face, kind of a thing. Hi. And I like that she brings that forward and talks about that head on. Okay. And that goes hand in hand with, like, not taking care of yourself, not having insight into how you think, how you feel. It's almost like you are taking on the thoughts and emotions of other people rather than having your own opinion and your own feelings. Because, sometimes when you're in that situation, it can be hard to disagree or to have a different point of view, even if the person isn't going to get upset with you. Having that mindset of, it's always about the other person, it's always about the other person, I gotta take care of the other person, you lose yourself in that. And I love how she delves into that. And I like that there are many, like I already said, examples, her personal examples, and examples of, I think it's clients that she has, just the examples of codependency, and she also gives many definitions of codependency. It's not just this one necessarily particular thing. It's like mental illness, you know. It's not just this is it, this is how it is, and if it deviates from this, then it isn't what it is, you know. It's on a spectrum. Everyone's different. It manifests in everyone differently. And let's see. Okay, another thing that I really like about this book is that at the end of each chapter, there are activities to do that forces you to focus on yourself and to learn how to get in touch with your thoughts, your feelings, what drives you. Like it's all self-focused. So instead of thinking about other people, you have to think about yourself, and that can be a scary, scary thing for some people, especially if you've been doing this for, you know, decades. You know, it can be hard to think about yourself, because sometimes you feel that thinking about yourself is selfish, that you should always be thinking about other people. And I like that there are activities and it gets you to do it. And there's also a workbook as well, which is really great. I haven't seen the workbook, but the fact that there is one is really, really great. I really like that. So, and I encourage people to give the activities a try. And the thing, now I just want to say, like, her definition, Melody Beattie's definition that she wrote in the book of codependency, and this is her definition. It doesn't mean this is like set in stone, you know. Like I said, codependency can be different for many people, but what she wrote is one who has let another person's behavior affect him or her, and who is obsessed with controlling that person's behavior. And like I said, that goes into the control thing, where it becomes something that you can't stop doing, you know. It, like she said, it becomes an obsession. And like I said, it's kind of like a drug. Like, you need to do it, you need to do it, you need to get that high. And I think in that way, it can be considered like you're searching for that high of taking care of somebody else, if that makes any sense. And like I said, this is just my point of view on the book. Everyone has a different opinion, you know. Read the book, skim through it, whatever, and come to your own conclusions, you know. Don't take me like this is how it is. And another thing that I like about the book is that she lists some characteristics of codependency, like behaviors and things like that, which I think is really good, because when you read them, sometimes you're like, oh my god, I do that, or oh my god, I do that, or oh my god, like you're like, oh, you know. And I'm not saying that taking care of other people and caring for them and wanting to make them happy is a bad thing. It's not. It becomes a negative thing when you lose yourself in that, when it's only about the other person, you know what I mean? There's no time for you. There's no, you don't take care of yourself in the way that you would take care of other people, kind of a thing. And it when it becomes something, like she says, an obsession, you know, that's when it's a problem. There's nothing wrong with taking care of people. I just want to say that there's nothing wrong with that at all. If there were, I mean, then we wouldn't have caregivers, you know. But I really, really do like that she lists that. And I'm actually going to make a separate video, and I'm going to list the characteristics that she puts in the book. That way you guys have some sort of reference, you know, so you can just look that up real quick, and then, you know, do whatever you want with it. Take it to your therapist, discuss it with them. That would be the best thing to do. Don't just, you know, read it and go, oh, that's me. Take it to your therapist and talk about it. So there's definitely a conversation going on, if this relates to you in any way. I mean, if you relate to this in any way. So yeah, I really like the book. I'm glad that I have the book. I'm glad that she wrote the book. And I do, from time to time, look at the activities, practice the activities, and do those things. I'll read the characteristics, I'll look up different parts of the book, read other people's experiences, and just so I can have that support of knowing, okay, I'm not alone. There's other people who have, like sometimes I think other people's situations are more dire. Sorry, Casey, don't do that. She will come back. Can I finish? I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Let me finish. Okay. I said sorry because I thought I was going to scream when he did that. Sometimes I do. I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. Okay, I just really love the book. I really do. Oh, yeah. Like I go through and look up stuff, and I like reading, you know, other people's examples, because sometimes I go, oh, well, that person went through this and this, and they had this kind of childhood, or they went through that, and there are things that they've experienced that I've never experienced. But it's always nice to know that there are other people who have been there and that understand, and she definitely understands because she has lived it herself. And that's another reason why I like this book, is because it's not just someone's opinion about it, it's someone who's actually lived it. And I think that's so powerful. I'm not saying that people who haven't experienced it can't write books on this and they can't have great insight into it, but there's always something more that comes through a person when they've actually lived it themselves. I don't know why, it just is. But anyway, I encourage you to read this book. I mean, you don't have to read the whole thing, but, you know, just look at it, see if you think that you might be codependent or know somebody who is. You know, it doesn't hurt to take a look at the book and just read through it. And if you do think that, you know, if you relate to this book and you think that, yeah, okay, I think I might be codependent, you know, seek out a therapist if you don't have one, someone who is versed in codependency, and go and talk with them, you know, and figure out how you can start thinking about yourself as well, not just the other people. And, you know, take care of yourself too, because if we don't take care of ourselves, we cannot fully take care of other people, you know. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and I will put the information of the book in the description box for you to reference, and I will see you in my next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Peace and love.